What's something you should always keep in your car? Blanket. Toolkit. Jumper cables. Good snow removing tool, if it snows where you live. And de-icer. Jumper cables. Flashlight. Water. Phone charger. Dashcam. Kleenex and paper towels. Lots of people saying gas, they might mean in the tank. But do not keep it in your trunk, or boot. Whatever. It degrades and evaporates in 3 to 6 months. Keep a gas canister with a little money inside, enough to fill it. A fire extinguisher. About 2 years ago I was in the car with my parents when all of a sudden the gears stopped responding and smoke starting coming out of the front and back. We parked on the side of the road. Opened the front and a piece, I think it was the battery, was burning. It was only put out because a man who was passing by riding a motorcycle quickly stopped. Took off his jacket, soaked it in water from a bottle that he had with him, and covered the fire with it. Turns out he was an ex-fireman. You probably shouldn't always count on being that lucky. First aid kit, maps, and emergency supplies. Do not keep condoms in your car. The latex breaks down under heat and are susceptible to breaking when you use them. An escape tool. At least $50 in cash. Fire extinguisher. Shoes. You never know when you have to run. Geese. If a cop pulls you over, and you have upwards of 10 live geese in your car, that officer really has to think about whether or not he wants to deal with that situation. Toilet paper. Flashlight. Knife. Wet wipes. Blanket. A can of motor oil. Jumper cables. And a couple of dollars. This is a kit I put together in every single car I ever had. Yourself. Wear your seatbelts. Registration. A device to break a window should you end up in water. Baseball bat in the trunk with a tube sock over the end. Baseball. And baseball glove. Bat is to beat someone's ass. Sock is so if they grab the bat you can pull it away and they are left with a sock, while you continue to beat their ass. Ball, glove is so that if you are found to just have a bat, a weapon. Ball and glove make it sports equipment. Edit. It's less about legality and more about intent. There is a substantial difference between I was defending myself, and I happened to have a bat with my equipment and I have this to hit people with it. How is ice scraper, snow brush not higher on this list? Where my MN peeps at? Get home bag, which is a cheap rucksack containing hiking boots. Spare clothes. Emergency money. First aid kit. Waterproofs. Food. Water. Multi-tool. Foil blanket. Lighters. Compass. Wind-up radio, power bank, torch and a head torch. Basically, if something happens and I'm stranded by the side of the road, or I have to walk 15 miles home, I will have all the stuff I need in one bag. Doesn't apply to others, but I always have my baseball glove and a frisbee. I hate being without them if I come across a beautiful open field to toss in. Small trash can. LED flashlight. First aid kit. Jumper cables. $20 to $50 in small bills, tolls. Parking garages. Gas. Hookers. Etc. Bottled water, change every 6 months. Towel. Blanket. Socks. And a change of clothes. Leatherman. You can do an amazing variety of tasks with a Leatherman. Small kneeling pad in trunk. You may only have to change a tire once a decade. But gosh darn if that half-inch of foam isn't a lifesaver on your knees when you do. Especially if you're in shorts. Gallon of water, should be self-explanatory. Ibuprofen. Whether it be work aches and pains. A coworker does. You need to walk a distance for gas or whatever. Raincoat. I never leave home without it. Spare boots, shoes. Again, one of those things you won't think about until you're in Sperry's or flip-flops and have to walk the shoulder or there's broken glass on the road. Cliff bars. Goes with water. Never hurts to have emergency calories on hand. Emergency contact index card. Insurance person if you need a tow. Your parents, so, buddy. If your phone's dead, do you have every number memorized you might, or first responders, might need? These are just the first things I thought of on my 15-minute break. Edit. As I only had time for a cigarette when I made this post, I'd also like to say a first aid kit is always a must for any vehicle. I also keep a hair tie around my gear shift. I'm bald, but you'd be amazed how many times that has come in handy for friends. Dates. Mom. Etc. A credence tape. WD-40 and duct tape. Edit. Jesus. I meant to fix shit. You people are fucked up. A bag of sand or kitty litter. 5 pounds bag of the cheap stuff is fine. Pour it under your tires to get unstuck from mud or snow. Some cash. Not like $1,000 but $50 can be handy to have if your ass is broken down in Randomville. A credit card, because if you have to stay the night in Randomville. If your choice is between Uncle Cletus's or La Quinta, be able to go with La Quinta. Snow scraper, brushy thing. Living north of Florida, this can be disturbingly useful. Kleenex, puffs, toilet paper, sometimes useful. Sometimes essential. A couple of medium women's pads. A spare pair of glasses if you're in the way of needing them. Earplugs, because sometimes you might want to not hear what's going on, especially on long drives. Being able to tune out and get some solid sleep is key. A blanket, sleep roll, something like a sleeping bag, worth it. A spare charger for your phone devices. Tire pressure gauge. Paper towels, small doggy bags, nothing you need. Until you do. Easy containment for people who get carsick and might not mention that until they go, I'm gonna be sick. Your papers. Be it your insurance card or a copy of your stuff so that in the event you get pulled over you can deal. And maybe a storage thingy for your sun visor. Sure, it's the automotive equivalent of a pocket protector. But depending how white you are, trigger happy the officer is. This could be pretty clutch. A spare change of clothes, an old pair of sneakers. A clean pair of pants. Undies and a shirt and or sweater. If you have a wardrobe moment, now you've got options. A bigger garbage bag. Accidents happen. You might need to clean up and go. Band-aids, or a little medical kit of things like aspirin, Tylenol. Tums. Or something like that helps for those little emergencies. While storing medicine in a car is, I would think, generally a bad idea. Doing so if it's temperature stable stuff might not be a horrible idea so long as you regularly swap out your meds. And because, oops, who can forget? Gloves. Cheesy $2 gloves for being able to touch the untouchable without having to worry about tossing. Masks. How could my quarantined ass have forgotten about masks? From now until probably 2025 me and everyone we know will be wandering the world. In the hope that today is the day where everyone acts like a responsible citizen and wears masks for the common good. But not today. Today you're going to run into a COVID-carrying douchebag. Coughing up chunky style in public. In a way that makes you dash back to get a spare mask in the off chance your first mask breaks while you get coffee. Sending that sense of perverse thief in the house. Hair up urgency dread. In a way that underscores your bewilderment and wonder as to how we ever survived as a species up to this point. Emergency ketchup in the glove box. If you travel with your dog. A bottle of water and a drinking bowl. Copy of any Teddy Pendergrass CD. Ya know. For baby Mackin. Glock 17 and baby wipes. A get-home bag. Enough supplies for a 2-day trek back home if something goes really wrong. Scissors to cut the seatbelt in case you ever get trapped. Physician's desk reference. Hollowed out. Inside. Waterproof matches. Iodine tablets. Beet seeds. Protein bars. NASA blanket. And, in case I get bored. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. No. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. A gun. A little garbage can. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.